babies, especially up through, really up through at least 2 years old, so much of their day is their own individual routine. And so you have to be free, somewhat, to be able to manage that and not expect them to all be on, it's 2 o'clock, so we're going to change everybody's diaper. That's not meeting the individual needs of children. So I would say that's a number one thing. Too many children for caregivers. The other thing is too many children for the space that you have. And the other thing would be not individualizing the experience and the materials. Often it's driven by those children who express their needs the loudest, and that's life in a lot of ways, right? The squeaky wheel and so forth. So we know that, Peter's really got to get outside, he's really loud about it, he's got to move, so everybody goes, but that wasn't what everybody wanted and what everybody needed. So making sure that we're really looking across the board at the needs, and you can see how that directly relates to the ratio.
What's important here is that the teacher has to have time to give the important one-on-one attention. And she can't do that if she's got too many children she has to respond to. With a smaller group, she can have intimate one-to-one and intimate two-to-two. They're few enough they can pile in her lap and all read a book together. I mean, there's intimacy in that smaller number, and that's where children know they're heard. An adult can listen to them, can respond. That intimate one-on-one responsiveness is critical. That's where the child feels the warmth.
If you have a classroom of 12 infants and 4 teachers, you've got a 1-to-3 ratio. However, you still have 12 infants that you've got to keep fed, dry, clean, engaged. And that's a challenge, because especially with 12 infants, then you could still have a bigger range. And if you've got 3 that need help, walking, and 4 that are not mobile at all, and 2 that are scooting, you've got a lot of moving about, because you can't have your 3 learning to walk trying to do it together. They're everywhere doing it, but you got to make sure they're not going to take a serious tumble, and you got to make sure those scooters don't get stepped on and all of those things. So when you have that level of balancing and tracking you're doing, you can't be calm and nurturing. I mean, when you're just doing that much, it's really hard to do it calm and quietly. It's got to be a high energy thing, and so that impacts their ability to have those calm, nurturing interactions during bottle feeding and diaper changing and even table feeding. All of those things get affected by that. And so that's where the lower ratios and the smaller group sizes really impact it, is in the ability to have the relationships time and the connecting time to really interact with the kids and give them the opportunity to explore and develop at their rate, at their level, on their time, rather than having to compartmentalize it as much.
Good. How many keys, right? Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 keys.
Particularly with the younger the child, the more that child is just establishing trust. And so we need to have as few adults as possible who are working with these children to help them to establish trust. I mean, children are going to go through stranger anxiety not too long after they're born, and it seems to go away and then comes back at later times as well. So the lower the number of adults that are interacting with children, the better it's going to be.
Obviously, one person to fewer children, you have more time to interact, and technically that really is what curriculum is for infants and toddlers. There's going to be a routine, and in context of routine, you're going to build curriculum in with that. So you're going to be every day thinking, what can I do to help this child cognitively? What can I do to help this child physically, socially, emotionally, and linguistically? When there's less children, you can do that more effectively. When there's more children, it's very difficult to see to it that you interact with each child individually enough to make a significant difference in the outcome. Why we as a society don't value what we do with children more so that we have more funding there available is a mystery. It's been a mystery most of my life, and it continues to just be a mystery to me, especially now that we have the research that says, you know, what's going to happen in those first 6 years is going to make a difference for the rest of time.